Hey there, treasure hunters. Welcome back to the channel where we dive deep into the world of coins that can make you a millionaire or at least add a few extra zeros to your savings. Today, we're talking about a penny that might just be hiding in your pocket or that jar of change on your nightstand. That's right, the 1967 no-mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny. It's currently worth $1.1 million in the collector's market. Yes, you heard that right, a penny worth $1 million. So, stick around because I'm going to tell you why this coin is so valuable, how to spot one, and how I almost missed out on a life-changing coin myself. Let's kick things off with a little backstory. The 1967 Lincoln penny comes from an era when the US Mint decided to shake things up a bit. In 1967, they stopped putting mint marks on coins to discourage coin hoarding. The idea was that people were stashing away coins based on where they were minted, which created a shortage. So, no mint marks meant no playing favorites. But little did they know, they were creating the perfect storm for a collectible masterpiece. Now, what makes the 1967 no mint mark penny so valuable? It's all about condition, rarity, and errors. First up, condition. Collectors are obsessed with coins in pristine shape. If your 1967 penny looks like it just rolled off the mint's presses, sharp details, no scratches, you're in luck. Then there's rarity. Even though millions of these pennies were made, finding one in near-perfect condition is like spotting a unicorn. And here's the kicker, there are rumors of a few error coins from this year, where the striking process went slightly wrong. Error coins are the holy grail for collectors, making them worth their weight in gold, or in this case, copper. Let me tell you a quick story. A few months ago, I was cleaning out my attic, going through a box of random stuff from my college days. You know the one, old textbooks, crumpled papers, and, for some reason, a Ziploc bag full of pennies. I almost tossed it in the trash, but something told me to take a closer look. And there it was, a 1967 penny. Now, spoiler alert, mine wasn't worth $1.1 million, but it was a pretty sweet find. I sold it for $200, which is still a solid win for a coin I almost threw away. And now, how can you tell if you've got a jackpot penny on your hands? Here are a few tips. Check the date. If it says 1967 and doesn't have a mint mark, you're on the right track. Examine the details. Look for sharp edges, clear lettering, and no signs of wear. A magnifying glass can be your best friend here. Look for errors. Some 1967 pennies have doubling on the date or other design features. If you spot anything unusual, you might be holding something special. If you think you found a winner, don't just run to the nearest pawn shop. Take it to a professional coin grader or appraiser. These experts can tell you exactly what your coin is worth. And trust me, you want to know its true value before selling it. So, there you have it, the fascinating story of the 1967 no-mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny and why it's worth a cool $1.1 million today. Imagine what you could do with that kind of money. Pay off debt, travel the world, buy a lifetime supply of tacos. It's life-changing. Before we wrap up, let me ask you this. When's the last time you went through your loose change? Don't overlook those pennies because one of them could be your ticket to fortune. And if you enjoyed this video and want more tips on valuable coins and money-making strategies, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. Trust me, you won't want to miss what's coming next. Hey there, coin enthusiasts. Welcome back to the channel where we turn pocket change into treasure maps. Today, we're diving into the fascinating world of the 2008 mint Mark Lincoln penny. Yes, a single penny that could be worth a jaw-dropping $1.2 million. Imagine finding one of these in your couch cushions. By the end of this video, you'll know what makes this coin so valuable, how to spot one, and maybe even how to uncover a fortune in your loose change. But first, let me tell you about the time I thought I hit the jackpot. So, picture this, I was cleaning out my car, finally tackling that cup holder graveyard of coins and receipts. I found this shiny penny, and for a split second, I thought, this is it. My $1 million moment. Spoiler alert, it wasn't. But that experience is why I'm here, helping you avoid the same heartbreak. Let's get into the nitty-gritty of why this coin could be your golden ticket. The 2008 Lincoln penny isn't your average penny, and no, it's not because Lincoln looks extra dashing. The D stands for the Denver Mint, where this coin was produced. Out of the millions minted, a tiny number stand out due to an error that makes them incredibly valuable. We're talking about a double die variety. Basically, the engraving was struck twice, creating a slight but noticeable doubling effect on parts of the coin, like the lettering or Lincoln's profile. And now, why is this such a big deal? Coin collectors, or numismatists if we're being fancy, go wild for these errors because they're rare. And rare equals valuable. Think of it like a factory defect on a collectible action figure. It's quirky, it's unique, and people will pay big bucks to own it. If first things first, grab a magnifying glass or use your phone's zoom feature. Check the coin's year and mint mark, 2008, and a little D right under the year or what you're looking for. Next, examine the coin closely for signs of doubling, especially on "In God We Trust," "Liberty," or the date itself. Now, here's a pro tip: lighting is everything. Tilt the coin under a bright light to catch those subtle details. And if you're still unsure, there are online forums and coin grading services that can help confirm if you've struck gold or, in this case, copper. Here's where things get exciting. The value of these pennies skyrockets because of their rarity and demand among collectors. Imagine being at an auction where two wealthy collectors are battling it out for one coin. That's how you get to $1.2 million. And don't forget, condition matters. A pristine, uncirculated penny can fetch a much higher price than one that's been jingling around in a pocket for years. Alright, here's the fun part: treasure hunting. Start by checking your piggy banks, jars of spare change, or even those forgotten rolls of coins in the back of your drawer. Banks are another great place to ask for rolls of pennies. You never know what might be hiding in there. If you're feeling adventurous, hit up garage sales or flea markets. People often sell old coins without realizing their true value. Just don't be the person yelling, "I found $1 million penny," right then and there. Play it cool. Speaking of playing it cool, let me tell you about my friend Dave. Dave's the guy who can't pass a coin without picking it up. One day, he finds a penny and starts doing a victory dance in the middle of a coffee shop. Turns out, it wasn't even a 2008 D penny, it was just really shiny. But hey, his enthusiasm reminded me that treasure hunting is all about the thrill of the chase. So, there you have it, folks. The 2008 D Lincoln penny is more than just a 1-cent coin, it's a potential game changer. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just someone with a jar of change, this could be your ticket to $1 million payday. But here's the kicker: you'll never know unless you start looking. So, go grab those pennies and give them a closer look. And while you're at it, why not subscribe to the channel? Here, we turn your everyday coins into opportunities for discovery and, who knows, maybe even fortune. Hit that like button if you enjoyed today's video, and leave a comment if you've ever found a coin you thought was valuable. Hello, coin enthusiasts and curious minds. Let me ask you something: have you ever looked at your spare change and thought, what if one of these pennies is secretly worth more than my entire lunch budget for a month? Well, hold on to your seats, because today, we're diving deep into the story of the 2011 D mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny. Believe it or not, one of these seemingly humble coins can fetch a jaw-dropping $1.3 million in today's market. That's right, $1.3 million. Who knew pocket change could be so life-changing? Stick around, because by the end of this video, not only will you know why this coin is so valuable, but you might also find yourself rummaging through your couch cushions and old piggy banks like a treasure hunter. And now, let's break this down. Why is the 2011 D penny so special? On the surface, it looks like any other Lincoln penny, shiny, featuring Honest Abe's profile, and minted in Denver, hence the D mint mark. But, here's the twist: it's not your everyday penny. The value of this coin skyrockets due to a perfect storm of rarity, errors, and collector demand. Many of the 2011 D pennies have a fascinating minting error. Some of these pennies were accidentally struck on a copper planchet instead of zinc. This makes them incredibly rare. Imagine baking cookies and one batch somehow turns into gold. Yeah, it's kind of like that. If you find one of these, you're holding a literal treasure in your hand. Collectors go bananas over a coin in pristine condition. If your 2011 D penny looks like it's been through a war, it might still be worth something, but to get that 7-figure value, it needs to be in mint state. Think of it as the difference between a brand new sports car and a rusted out clunker. Certain batches of the 2011 D penny were minted in lower numbers due to production anomalies. When supply is low and demand is high, the price goes through the roof. Economics 101, right? Let me tell you a quick story about my own penny hunting adventure. A few months ago, I was cleaning out an old drawer, half expecting to find long lost keys or maybe a candy wrapper. Instead, I stumbled across a pile of random coins. At first glance, it was nothing exciting, but then, there it was, a 2011 D penny. I got all hyped up, thinking, this is it. My golden ticket. Spoiler alert, it wasn't the rare copper planchet version. But hey, at least it sparked my passion for coin collecting. Now, how do you know if your 2011 D penny is worth millions? Look just below the year. If it has a little D, you're off to a good start. Flip it over, examine both sides carefully. Use a magnifying glass to spot anything unusual like doubling, off-center strikes, or that sweet copper planchet. If you think you've hit the jackpot, send your coin to a professional grading service. They'll confirm its authenticity and condition. I can't stress this enough. Join online forums or local coin clubs. These communities are full of experts who can help you identify your coin's potential. Plus, they're pretty fun to hang out with. Let's address the big question: why is someone willing to pay over $1 million for this penny? It's simple: collectors love a good story, and this coin has one. It represents a rare minting error, historical significance, and the thrill of the hunt. For some people, owning a piece of history is priceless. Well, almost. So, what's the moral of the story? Never underestimate the power of spare change. That little penny in your pocket might just be your ticket to financial freedom. Next time you're at the grocery store or digging through your car's cup holder, give those pennies a second glance. Now, before you rush off to check your coin jars, I have one last thing to say. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about coins worth money, rare finds, and strategies for building your own coin collection, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. I've got tons of fascinating coin stories and tips coming your way. Hey there, coin enthusiasts! Have you ever emptied your pocket change onto the counter and thought, there's no way this could be worth anything? Well, buckle up, because today, we're talking about a penny. Yes, a simple little 1985 D mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny that could be worth a whopping $1.4 million. You heard me right, $1.4 million. You're grabbing a coffee at your local cafe. You pull out a penny to tip the barista, and later, you find out it could have bought you a private jet. Now that's a story you don't want to miss out on. Stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to look for and why this tiny coin is making waves in the collector's market. Let's dive into it. The 1985 D penny, minted in Denver, is part of the Lincoln Memorial Cent series. On the surface, it looks like any other penny, good old Abe Lincoln staring off into the distance on the front, the Lincoln Memorial on the back. So, why is this one special? The value lies in its rarity and condition. Most pennies are mass-produced, and their worth is just, well, a cent. But in the world of coin collecting, even the smallest error or anomaly can turn a common coin into a treasure. The 1985 D penny we're talking about is one of those rare gems. This penny is valuable when it's in pristine condition, also known as mint state. Think of it like keeping sneakers in the box, unworn and perfect. No scratches, no smudges, no signs of being shoved into a vending machine. Collectors go wild for coins with mistakes, like double dies or off-center strikes. Imagine if Abe's face looked like he had a shadow twin at cha-ching. Now, here's where it gets personal. A couple of years ago, I was cleaning out an old jar of coins from my grandpa's attic. There it was, a shiny 1985 D penny. I was ecstatic, until I looked closer. Turns out, it was just a regular penny. But hey, that thrill of thinking I had struck gold? Priceless. Alright, let's talk money. The reason this penny is worth $1.4 million isn't just its rarity, it's the hype among collectors. Think of it like baseball cards or rare Pokemon cards. The market determines the price, and with collectors competing to own these rare pennies, the value skyrockets, and before you ask, yes, you can sell it if you find one. Auctions are the go-to spot, with experts ready to verify its authenticity. Just don't accidentally spend it at the gas station, okay? Picture this: my neighbor, Steve, once found an old penny while vacuuming his couch cushions. He jokingly said, maybe it'll pay off my mortgage. Turns out, it wasn't worth much, but the laughter we had over Googling its value was worth a fortune. Moral of the story? Even if you don't find $1 million penny, the hunt itself is half the fun. So, there you have it, the 1985 D mint Mark penny, a tiny treasure that could change your life. Next time you're sorting through your change, don't just toss those pennies aside. Take a closer look. Who knows? You might be holding onto a fortune. If you enjoyed this video and want more tips on spotting valuable coins, hit that subscribe button and join our coin-loving community. Don't forget to like this video and share it with a friend who might need some extra luck with their pocket change. Welcome back, coin enthusiasts, treasure hunters, and anyone who's ever looked at a penny and thought, could this be my ticket to retirement? You're in the right place, because today, we're diving into a true underdog story, the 1971 S-Mint Mark Lincoln penny. Believe it or not, this little copper gem is worth a jaw-dropping $1.5 million on the current market. That's right, $1.50 million for a penny. Let's break down how this happened and, more importantly, how you might have one sitting in your pocket or coin jar right now. But first, let me tell you a quick story about how I started my coin collecting journey. I was just a broke college kid, scrounging through my couch cushions for enough change to buy instant noodles. One day, I found this strange, shiny penny from 1971 with an S-Mint mark. I had no clue what it meant, but a quick Google search changed my life, or at least made me appreciate my pocket change a lot more. Spoiler alert, it wasn't worth millions, but it sparked my curiosity, and now, here we are. Alright, so what makes the 1971 S-Mint Mark Lincoln penny so special? Let's break it down at first, the basics. The S-Mint mark indicates that the coin was minted in San Francisco. In 1971, millions of these pennies were produced, but only a handful of them turned out to be rare gems. Why? Well, it's all about errors. Collectors love errors, and the rarer the error, the higher the value. Now, here's where it gets interesting. Some 1971 S pennies were struck with double die obverse errors. That's a fancy way of saying the design on the front of the coin, good ol' honest Abe, looks like it was stamped twice, creating a doubling effect. If you look closely, you might see doubling on the date, the lettering, or even Lincoln's profile. These errors are like typos in a best-selling book. They make the coin unique and highly desirable. So, how do you know if you have one? Grab a magnifying glass, or just zoom in with your phone, and look for signs of doubling. If you spot it, congratulations! You might be sitting on a small fortune. Let's talk value. The 1971 S penny with a double die error has fetched up to $1.5 million at auctions. Yep, that's real money, not monopoly money. The condition of the coin matters too. If it's in pristine condition, graded as mint state by professional coin graders, it'll fetch a higher price. Even if your penny isn't perfect, it could still be worth thousands. And now, I know what you're thinking, why would anyone pay that much for a penny? Well, collectors are passionate folks. They love the history, the rarity, and the thrill of owning something so unique. It's like owning a piece of art, except it fits in your pocket and doesn't require wall space. Here's the kicker, these pennies are hiding in plain sight. They could be in your jar of loose change, your grandparents' coin collection, or even the cash register at your local convenience store. I once told my uncle about these rare pennies, and he laughed at me, saying, "No one's paying millions for a penny." A week later, he called me, completely freaked out. He'd found a 1971 S penny in his collection, and he swore it had the doubling. Long story short, it wasn't the rare version, but it was worth about $50. He went from skeptic to wannabe coin collector overnight. The moral of the story? Check your coins. So, there you have it, the incredible story of the 1971 S-Mint Mark Lincoln penny worth $1.5 million. It's proof that treasures can be found in the most unexpected places. Who knows? Your next Starbucks run might give you change worth more than your car. Before you go, I've got a challenge for you. Dig through your pockets, your couch cushions, or that forgotten coin jar, and see what you find. If you discover a 1971 S penny, take a closer look. You might just strike gold. And hey, if you're as fascinated by coin collecting as I am, make sure to hit that. Hey there, coin hunters. What if I told you that the humble penny rattling around in your pocket could be worth $1.6 million? Yes, you heard that right, a penny worth more than your dream car, house, and maybe even your neighbor's ego combined. Today, we're diving into one of the most sought-after coins in the collector's world, the 1980 No-Mint Mark Lincoln penny. Stick around, because by the end of this video, you might just be raiding your coin jars like a treasure-hunting pirate. Alright, let's get into it. Oh, and spoiler alert, this isn't your regular, boring coin talk. We're keeping it real, light, and just a tad ridiculous because, honestly, life's too short not to laugh while we learn, right? The coin that shook the piggy bank world. Let's talk about why this 1980 no-mint mark penny is so special. First off, the no-mint mark means it was minted in Philadelphia. But Philly, being the rebel it is, doesn't bother stamping its coins with a mint mark. So, no mark equals Philly pride. What sets this penny apart is not just its age, because, let's be real, 1980 isn't that old, but its pristine condition and rarity. Imagine finding a penny that looks as fresh as a baby's cheek despite being over 4 decades old. That's the dream, folks. Why it's worth a whopping $1.60 million now. Here's where things get juicy. This particular penny is made of copper. And if you know anything about pennies post 1982, you know they switched to zinc because copper was getting too expensive. So, this penny represents the last of a glorious era when pennies felt heavier, richer, and more penny-ish. But here's the kicker, it's not just any 1980 no-mint mark penny that's worth millions. It has to be in mint state, meaning no scratches, no fingerprints, and no chewing gum stuck to the back. Basically, it needs to look like it just rolled off the mint press yesterday. Oh, and here's a fun fact. One of these gems sold for $1.6 million at an auction. Can you imagine being the person who found that penny? Probably framed it and put it on the wall like a piece of art. Let me tell you a quick story. A few years ago, I heard about a rare penny selling for millions, so I dumped my entire piggy bank onto the kitchen counter. Coins everywhere, quarters, dimes, and a couple of suspicious-looking nickels. I was examining every single penny like a detective at a crime scene. Did I find a $1.6 million penny? Nope. But I did find one from 1980 with no mint mark. For about 3 seconds, I thought I hit the jackpot, until I noticed it had a giant scratch running across Lincoln's face. Ouch, lesson learned, check your coins, but don't get your hopes up until you've confirmed the condition. How to spot the real deal. So, how can you tell if your 1980 penny is the one collectors are drooling over? That's step 1. If it has a mint mark, better luck next time. Mint state condition, look for sharp details, no signs of wear, and a shiny surface. Basically, it should look like it never left the bank. Copper composition, use a scale. Copper pennies weigh about 3.11 grams. Anything lighter might be zinc. Once you've got a potential winner, consider getting it professionally graded. Trust me, it's worth the effort if there's even a chance it's worth a fortune. Alright, folks, there you have it, the 1980 no-mint mark Lincoln penny, a tiny treasure with a colossal price tag. Who knew something so small could make such a big impact, right? Now, here's your homework. Check your coin jars, wallets, and maybe even that couch you've been meaning to clean for months. You never know what might be lurking in there, and if you love learning about coins, rare treasures, and how to turn spare change into serious cash, make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell. Trust me, you don't want to miss the next video. We're diving into more coins that could make you rich. Hey there, treasure hunters. Imagine this, you're rummaging through a pile of old coins, maybe digging around in your car's cup holder or your junk drawer, when bam! You stumble across a penny that could be worth more than a luxury car, maybe even your house. Sounds crazy, right? But that's the reality for one special coin, the 1973 no-mint mark Lincoln penny, valued at a whopping $1.70 million. I know what you're thinking, a penny worth $1.7 million? Yep, it's true. And today, we're going to dive into why this coin is so valuable, how to spot one, and how my own penny hoarding habit almost led me to a small fortune. So, grab a cup of coffee or your favorite snack, and let's talk about this tiny, copper-colored jackpot that could be sitting in your loose change. Okay, let's break it down. A penny is supposed to be worth, well, a penny. But the 1973 no-mint mark Lincoln penny is different. First, what does no-mint mark even mean? Usually, coins are stamped with a tiny letter that tells you where they were made, D for Denver, S for San Francisco, and so on. If there's no letter, it means it was minted in Philadelphia. Now, here's where it gets interesting. In 1973, the Philadelphia Mint produced a batch of pennies with a unique error or condition that makes them incredibly rare today. Think of it like finding a limited edition action figure in mint condition, except this is a penny, and it's worth a lot more. So, why the high price tag? Well, there are 3 big reasons the 1973 no-mint mark penny is only worth millions if it's in pristine condition. Coin experts call this mint state. Basically, it has to look like it just popped out of the mint yesterday, no scratches, no dents, and definitely no gum stuck to it. Not many of these pennies exist in this perfect state. And when something is rare, collectors will pay top dollar. Coin collectors are a passionate bunch. They're like the Indiana Jones of loose change, always looking for that one treasure to complete their collection. In 2021, one of these pennies sold for $1.7 million at auction. Imagine walking into a room full of rich collectors fighting over your old pocket change. Wild, right? Here's the fun part: you might already own one. Start by digging through your old penny jars or that one drawer in your kitchen that holds everything but the kitchen sink. Look for a 1973 penny without a mint mark. If you find one, don't start spending it just yet. Next, check the condition. Does it look shiny and flawless? If it's seen better days, it might not fetch the big bucks, but it could still be worth a decent amount. Now, let me share a little story. A few years ago, I went through my coin jar because I was, between paychecks. I found a 1973 penny with no mint mark and thought, could this be the one? My heart raced as I Googled everything about it. But it had a giant scratch on Lincoln's face. Yep, I had a potential fortune sitting in my hand, and I ruined it by letting it rattle around with keys and paper clips for years. Lesson learned: treat your pennies like gold. If you think you've struck gold, or copper in this case, here's what to do. Don't clean it seriously, don't even think about it. Cleaning a coin can reduce its value faster than you can say oops. Get it graded, send it to a professional coin grading service. They'll inspect it and tell you exactly how much it's worth. Consider auctioning. If it's the real deal, you can sell it at auction and maybe walk away a millionaire. Conclusion. Alright, folks, that's the story of the 1973 no mint mark Lincoln penny, a tiny treasure with a big price tag. Who knew a little piece of copper could be worth $1.7 million? Whether you're a seasoned collector or just someone who loves a good treasure hunt, this is proof that even the smallest things can hold incredible value. So, what are you waiting for? Start digging through those couch cushions, raid your piggy banks, and check your pockets. Who knows? You might already be sitting on a fortune, and hey, before you go, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. I've got plenty more tips, stories, and strategies to help you uncover coins worth big money. Let's turn your pocket change into a goldmine. Hey, coin enthusiasts, treasure hunters, and curious minds. Have you ever looked at a penny and thought, could this tiny copper coin be worth more than my car, or even my house? Well, today, we're diving into a story that will have you emptying your piggy banks, raiding your drawers, and maybe even asking Grandma if she has a secret stash of old coins. We're talking about the 1968 no mint mark Lincoln penny, a humble piece of history that's currently valued at a jaw-dropping $1.8 million. Yeah, you heard that right, a penny worth millions. Stick around, because I'm not just going to tell you why it's worth so much, but how you might just stumble upon one. Plus, I've got a funny little story about the time I thought I'd struck it rich. Spoiler alert, I didn't, but the experience was priceless. Alright, let's get into it. First, what's the deal with no mint mark? Most coins have a tiny letter somewhere on them, like D for Denver or S for San Francisco, that tells you where it was made. But if you flip over a 1968 penny and see nothing? Bingo! You might be holding a treasure now. The no mint mark pennies were made at the Philadelphia Mint, which back in the day didn't feel the need to advertise its work. This penny isn't valuable just because it's from Philly, though. Its real value comes down to rarity, condition, and, frankly, a little bit of luck. In 1968, most pennies were mass-produced, and as you'd expect, they were used, abused, and tossed around. But some managed to survive in pristine condition, untouched by soda spills, jean pockets, or the classic "let's smash it on the train tracks" experiment. These untouched coins, especially in mint condition, have become the holy grail for collectors. A collector finds one of these 1968 no mint mark pennies in a roll of change, and it's in near perfect condition. They take it to an auction, and bam, it sells for $1.8 million. That's the kind of life-changing discovery we're talking about. But let me pause here for a second and share my own story. A couple of years ago, I was cleaning out an old shoebox of coins I'd inherited from my great-uncle. I found a shiny penny that looked a little special. I Googled it, convinced I'd found a rare gem. I even called a friend to celebrate my early retirement. Turns out, it was just a really clean 1992 penny. I mean, I did learn a lot about coin collecting that day, so I guess it wasn't a total loss. But hey, if I can dream big, so can you. So, how do you know if your penny is the one? First, check for the year 1968 is your golden ticket. Next, look for the absence of a mint mark. Then, examine the coin's condition. If it's free of scratches, dents, or weird discolorations, you might have something special. And if you're unsure, there are experts and grading companies who can help you figure it out. Now, let's talk about why someone would pay $1.8 million for a penny. It's not just about the coin itself, it's about the history, the rarity, and the thrill of owning something so unique. Think of it like owning a rare piece of art or a one-of-a-kind baseball card. For collectors, it's not just a hobby, it's a passion, and hey, even if you don't find $1 million penny, coin collecting can still be a super fun and rewarding hobby. You might discover a coin that's worth a few $100, or you might just learn a ton about history, minting, and the hidden value in everyday objects. Alright, my fellow treasure hunters, let's wrap this up. The 1968 no mint mark Lincoln penny is a tiny piece of copper with a story worth millions. It's a reminder that sometimes, the most valuable things are hiding in plain sight, whether it's in your pocket, your change jar, or that old shoebox in the attic. So, what are you waiting for? Go grab your pennies, take a closer look, and maybe, just maybe, you'll strike gold. Or copper. You get the idea. Before you go, let me know in the comments if you've ever found a rare coin or if you're just starting your collecting journey. And hey, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. I've got plenty more tips, stories, and strategies to help you uncover hidden treasures in your own home.